Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Matthew Maley for MatthewMaley.com. Well, hasn't happened much this year, but I actually was able to play a little bit of poker on my most recent trip back to Arizona. I was with my boy Frankie and decided, you know what, I had an extra $50, $60 to my name, so let's go try and play some. So I headed out to the Casino Arizona Talking Stick. As you guys know, probably the best casino there in Arizona, to play the 11:15 or 11:30 tournament. I had been told that it was a $60 or $50 tournament. Ended up being a $60 tournament plus a $5 bonus, dealer appreciation, and then found out that there was a $20 rebuy. But in fact, it wasn't a rebuy. It was an add-on. Did not know that. So we got there a little bit late. I go sit down at the table. I'm down about $1.50 in terms of blinds, so not bad. And buy the $5 appreciation. So now I have essentially 3,000 chips. It was 2,800, 2,850 actually. So I think third hand I see. First hand I get like King Deuce, Muck. Second hand, don't remember. Third hand, don't remember. It was the fourth hand I saw. I was, I want to say 2 off of the button. And, I'm sorry. Second act. I don't know why I said 2 off the button. It was second act. Under the gun +2 or +1. And I think it was probably because I hadn't played in a while, and I just, haven't been able to. As you guys know, life has been a little difficult and money's been even tighter. So there was just the excitement of getting to play, and I picked up King Queen of Diamonds. So I ended up simply just calling the bet, wanted to play a little small ball with it to see a flop. And about 2 to act after me went fold, and then the next guy, blinds at this point were 50, 100, so I just called 100. He made it 350. Said, okay, it is what it is. Ended up, went around, was folded all the way around until the big blind called, if I'm not mistaken. So, flop comes out, and pretty much as good of a flop as you can get, short of, flop in the joint. Flop comes out 10 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, blank. All right, that's good. So I figure let's throw in, a little bit of a steal attempt here. So I figure I'm probably going all the way with this anyway. I just put out a simple like 350 into it. And this guy automatically, no, I'm sorry, I checked him. And figuring this guy's going to bet, I can shove, can see 2 cards, about the only way I'm getting the right price here. Now, part of the reason why this was my thought process is I'm actually listening to Annie Duke's book right now. And as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of Annie Duke. I think she kind of comes across a little bitchy. But her book is one of the best that I've read, listened to, whatever, at breaking down every possible way a hand would set up. So I got to give her props on that. It's way more in-depth than any other book that I've read from that perspective, and I really like that. Where, it goes through every single way of looking at a hand, from every position, from if you're, if you have the lead, if you're in position, every little thing, she breaks it down. So I really like that about it. And one of the parts that I'm in is maximizing using your money as best you can. If you figure you're going to call a check on the flop, you're going to call a bet on the flop, and you're probably going to call the bet on the turn, why not raise the flop where your money actually gives you the chance to win instead of having to hit your hand? Because you might raise, they might fold. It might just be a continuation bet. So this is already my thought process. I'm figuring, I've got 2 overs plus the flush draw, second nut flush draw, feeling pretty good about it. So I figure this guy's going to bet, I'm going to shove. He might just go away, even if he calls me. I'm assuming, I've got 9 outs, 9 diamonds, plus potentially 6 kings and queens. Potentially. Hoping he's on a hand like ace-10 or something, and, we're good. So he bets like I expected to, like I expected him to, bets 550, and I insta-shove. So he ends up insta-calling, which, made me think that maybe he had a set, or I was in trouble, or maybe it was on the ace flush. No, he rolls over bullets. So that's a problem. So, blank, bricked it off, whatever. I'm pretty much down to nothing. In fact, I was completely out. So I said, well, at least I got this, thinking it was an actual rebuy for another at least 2,000 chips. It wasn't. It was only an add-on for another 1,000. So I put in my 20, got my other 1,000. Blinds go up to 1-2, I think. So now the blinds are 1-2. I've got 1,000 in chips. Like, what am I even going to do here? I end up shoving with pocket jacks, and it was after it had been called, or no, it had been raised, called. So I ended up shoving. Got the initial raiser ended up calling me. Everybody else folded, and he had King 9. I don't know why he called. He didn't even have that good of a stack. Blanked off. Thankfully, I actually ended up turning another jack, so it'll overkill. But I ended up doubling up, so I got up to about 2,000. And I maintained for the rest of that level. Blinds then went up to 153, and when they went up to 153, I'd lost a couple hands back to back. I had one hand in the big blind. I called a raise with Queen 9 and like ace. I think it was like ace blank hit, and there was a bet. I went small blind check. I checked. Then it went bet raise. Small blind shoved. I got out of the way, and then had another hand where I had King Deuce. It was actually the next time around the table in the small blind. I simply called the bet, and there was 3 people in the hand. A deuce hit, so I actually let out at it, and I got raised. I only let out like, I think that would have been 300, and got raised. And I don't know. The ace scared me. The flop came up ace king. No, I'm sorry, ace 9 deuce, because I had the ace 9 deuce. I had the king deuce, king deuce of diamonds, I believe. So I had the bottom pair, and I probably should have gone with it there, but ace scared me. He might have just been playing that, but I ended up letting it go, and that hand brought me back down to probably 1,300, 1,200. So I was pretty much at danger zone. Got to get my money in there quickly. Ended up pushing with King Jack. It had been folded around to me on the button, or one off the button, so I figured I only got to get past 3 people. I was like, honestly, just happy to take down the blinds. I shoved with King Jack of spades. Decent. Only problem was big blind woke up with ace 10 offsuit in his hand, in the big blind, and neither one of us improved. It actually board paired. It came out like 9 something 9. Turn hit an 8, I think, and then river was a blank. So it sucked. I mean, really, it was two hands. I played 3 hands. One, lost 2, and then that was it. So that was really all the money that I had brought with me. I wanted to sit some cash, but I wanted to be able to be responsible. I didn't want to do anything crazy with my rent money or something, so I owed that to Nino. But I ended up reading some of my poker book because my buddy Frankie, he got knocked out a little bit later, but he ended up wanting to sit around and play some cash. So went and sat some 4-8 or some 3-6, I think, and had a crazy roller coaster, up, down, up, down, up, down. Ended up, I think, almost tripling up. He'd already doubled up, then he lost it all, then he doubled up again, then lost half of it, and then he ended up tripling up. So it was a crazy day, which is nuts to do at 3-6. That doesn't happen at 3-6. So overall, it felt great being at the table. I can't wait until I can, get my life and money straight so I can get back there. I miss it more than I can explain to you. And it just, he feels right. I felt alive just sitting there, to quote Mike McDee. But, so hopefully all will go well, and I'll be, doing poker recaps constantly. But until then, there's at least a little bit of one. It wasn't much of one, but a little bit of one. So there you have it. I am Matthew Maley. This is MatthewMaley.com. Thank you as always for checking out my videos. Much appreciated. You can check out the rest of them on MatthewMaley.com. So we check out the current video blog tab, or check out all the old ones in the previous video entries. You can also check me out on YouTube. Search for Matthew Maley Poker or MatthewMaley.com. Post all my videos on there, so like, comment, and subscribe. You can check me out on Facebook. Like my page at Matthew Maley Poker. You can also follow me on Twitter at Matthew Maley. And finally, follow your boy on Instagram. I'm at Matthew Maley Poker. Always putting up new pictures. So, until the next time, I'm signing off. Hope everybody's having a great week. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace out, y'all.